Thank you so much.
You know, can we, are they gone? Can we get the table then? Thanks. لا حط التيبل هيك في العرض طول. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. What about if we? Is it better if we move like a fee? I don't. Should we? Well, yeah. Connect to this. Is it better? Yeah. And keep the circle big. Sorry, Rain. Sorry about that.
We have plenty of shares.
That's good.
Adding this.
Yeah, more than we expected.
Tell me the truth, I didn't expect more than 5. So
Well,
good to have those.
It's 5 to 100. Be careful what you wish for.
That's why Neda didn't reserve this. So usually she reserves the pro section, but she can't reserve it if we don't know. But next time we'll do a registration.
they end up moving, huh? Those guys. We're taking everybody.
Okay, we'll start with Mr. Samir. If you can start, and we'll go in turn. Just reflections from the elections, and how do you, how are you inspired by the elections, and how do we move forward from there?
Can we try to make it like a minute per person or a minute and a half?
Yes.
You make 30 seconds.
Just so we don't
30
keep everybody
seconds.
till 12. No, 30 seconds is not possible.
La,
A minute and a half.
make it easy for me.
Yeah, you can take 2
Well,
seconds.
okay. I'll be very quick. Actually, I just want to say this movement, the green movement, is here to stay. The impact and the result we saw from this election is really encouraging for this movement to keep going. And it is just a start. We know we were not, actually, we probably got more than we expected. And that's it. We should keep going. We should not be discouraged with the result. So, it's not something. It's not really surprise. And I think we did achieve one goal of that. I was telling the guys earlier that we had big issue with the Vice President Harris, and we started with the uncommitted, with the Biden Harris, and I think we achieved that goal. But now a lot of people, they do not believe in politics and politicians anymore, and I think the Green Party is here to represent those people who want the real politician who really want to serve the community. That's all I want. To be quick.
Do we say our name, Wissam, or no?
Sure, if you want.
Oh, sure. Okay. Hello, my name is Linda. I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And it was just such an honor to be a part of this campaign, leading up to the election. And I believe that we are a movement for the creation of a new party, an alternative to the two-party system that, like Jill says, just stands for Wall Street and war. The American people, the world desperately needs, better American governance. So I so hope that we will stay together, keep building, because, the 700,000 votes that we got in this election, every one of them is so important. Every one of them represents somebody who voted with great thought, passion, compassion, and care. And these are the people that I want to be organizing with. And very excited for the future, and looking forward to staying in touch with everybody in this room and meeting more people.
I'm going to have him.
That's fine. How's everyone? Pleasure to meet everybody here. I've been a long-time supporter of Greens. I voted for Ralph Nader back in the day.
Oh my goodness!
I'm a believer in them. I love their platform, everything they stand for. They're pro-working class. They pro-peace, pro-environment, and I don't believe in the voting for the lesser of the two evils type of strategies or type of fear-mongering. I think this is a good movement that had to start somewhere, and we see it all over the country on college campuses. We see it in Jewish Voices for Peace. We see it in organizations that that have that drive to move for world peace, against genocide, and share a lot of our common goals and interests as Greens. So I believe there were 45,000 votes in Michigan for Dr. Jill Stein, and that is something to be proud of and to be built upon. Looking forward to working with all of you and continuing to push forward, make a change.
Hello, this is Valerie Howie. I live in LaSalle. Actually, you said it's the environment is interesting. I think it's not. It's actually terrifying. Even with the Democrat Party supporting a genocide, we still didn't crack the 1%. I just don't see a route for us to become viable.
My name is Paul, and the problem is, as you just said, I mean, single payer healthcare, peace, environment, these are enormously popular issues. The majority of the American people would want that, and yet they're not aware that there is a party that, you know, has that as a platform. And our challenge is to get that message out there and make people aware.
Thank you.
Simple as that.
I think that my general thoughts can be summed up in that now is more than ever not a time to slow down. Now that the election is over, now is a time to speed up. We need to work harder. We have 4 whole years not to sit aside and watch as things unfold. We have 4 years to build and to gain momentum where previously we had little. And I think that the most important thing for us to remember is that we need to remind people that when we fight, we win. There's an air of hopelessness that has, I feel, consumed, you know, a lot of America today. There's an air of hopelessness. Like we constantly vote for the lesser of two evils. We shouldn't be accepting any evil. Now is a time for us to stand up and for us to show who we are. And I think that that's the most important thing that I've taken away from this. There's no hero coming down to swoop from the sky to save us. We must do it ourselves.
I'm Andrew. I think we're all basically on the same page that this is an important time to work together and make big strides. I think we'll find our most success at more local and state levels, and I think that would be an excellent foundation to build from. It would be really nice to actually have representation both in the state and in the federal government, at least in the House of Representatives, and work from there, kind of similar to other people that I believe are more sympathetic to our cause, whether it's like Bernie Sanders or so on, who are independents. But I would welcome into a Green Party. And so, yeah, I think that would be our best bet, is to just work from there, work from the ground up, and do the right thing smartly, is how I like to think of it.
Hello everyone, this is Wakar. This was my first time to vote for a Green Party, and I like it. The way we are working, everybody's working hard. That's very good, and we need to work more. Like the gentleman said, we need to speed up and tell everybody that there is another option for them to save America, I would say. Thank you.
Save humanity. My name is Farah Khan, and to your question, brother, you said there's no hope, right? Um, you know why Green Party got lesser votes? It's because people are so mad at the Democratic Party that they did not want it to leave it to a chance for her to win. That's why half of the votes that we could have gotten went to the Republican Party. So that is one thing, and never lose hope.
It's not about losing hope. It's about the question: are we viable?
So to your question, I did not know about the Green Party before almost just a year ago. I never heard of it ever. No, I didn't know. I did not know there is another option from Democratic or Republican Party. And I have met a lot of people. I did campaigning. I was out on the streets, and I have met so many people, and they were like, "So if we don't vote for these two, then who?" So we have a lot of work, like this young man said. We have to do a lot of work, and this progress is just 1 year work, just 1 year. The only thing that came out of this genocide is that it brought us all together. It showed us that we can actually stand up to the bullies. It showed us that we have the power to defeat a historical defeat to the Democratic Party. I've been a long life Democrat. I should say, I was a long life Democrat. Anyways, so the only way up, I think this is the rock bottom of the political morality. So the only way up, only way forward is up. And we can make it happen. If we all come together from, as you can say, we have so many ethnicities, so many religious backgrounds. We are all together in this. We have to save humanity. We have to save America. We have to make America like they say make America great again, not just by words. We have to show them that it's possible, and we're gonna do it. So
I completely disagree. We are far from rock bottom. At the very end of the 4 years, we will be at the rock bottom. And believe me, the Green Party gonna have a lot of work to do if they get into.
We are now pushing back from a
So the thing is that we have showed people that there is hope. We can defeat the huge, humongous parties. I mean, I only knew like Democrats and Republicans, like I told you. So if we can, just us can defeat them, just imagine what we can do if we put our power together, if we put our efforts together, if we combine efforts and work towards something,
Yet we didn't.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm
Sorry, I'm really sorry.
all right. Okay, sorry, but I just like the mic.
Well, first, I'm going to start with the reflection for the results of the elections. I think one thing, I think we sent the message. We tend to send the message. I wish that we were able. I would hope that we would send a stronger message, but at least the message was received that we are saying no to genocide. And we're not the only one who sent the message. It's not only the Green Party, also the Democrats. 10 million Democrats did not vote. They were sending a message. So the main thing, we're here today because of genocide. Not because of immigrants, not because of economy, not because of anything. We're here because of genocide. And our best bet is the Green Party. Whether they win or not, it really doesn't matter. We have to send the message. At the end, if we get 2% or 3%, that kind of swing the election. Most presidents win by 2 or 3%. So at least if maybe we cannot win, but we can change policy, we can force policy. And that's what we want to do. And Avi said that we have to get ready now for the next 4 years. I just want to correct him a little bit. The next 2 years. In 2 years, we have an election for Congress, and we wanted to find a good candidate now and start working, start strategizing our work, and find which way we're gonna do it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm Rain, and I loved being Cardi a long time ago. Goodness, a long time ago. Okay, and the direction, uh, it's changed. You know what I'm saying? Before, I had a well. Now I have a disability. I had a stroke six years ago, and I see when you have a disability, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And so I hope the Green Party will change the world, okay? And it will. But you have to help. And guess what? You're helping. And so don't get hope. Hello? Don't. We have hope. We have hope.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You have hope.
We have hope.
Yes. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're gonna make you leave hope.
Believe me, let me just say my word and then we'll open it for discussion. We have a lot of reasons for despair. To tell you the truth, I myself struggle with this on daily basis. We've been for over a year witnessing one of the worst genocides ever. And the first genocide that's ever televised live in front of our screens. Daily basis, there's today over 100 killed, mostly women and children.
and we know who that is. I mean, most people that are active. So it's gonna take some time, maybe 20. We started with building it for the next generation, for you guys. Like, you have to wait at least 30 years. Then you come to me and tell me disappointed. I won't be here, but you'll be here. So then you can come and say, well, I tried for 30 years, it's not working. But you have the first years. so I think when, and this is psychology, when always you get more than you expected to be happy. Like Wissam expected to have 5 people here today, and he's more than happy to see like the place won't fit us. So that's not a disappointment for him. That's a good problem to have, that we have more people than we expected. No,
Let me say something. What I said was not something extreme. A lot of people say the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go nowhere.
According to your personality.
So what I just put on the table is something that exists everywhere. It did not come out of me.
Some people, they have to be discouraged to work harder.
Yeah.
Maybe Wild one of them. Like, yeah, now it's gonna work, make it work.
Honestly, I just wanted to point the problem.
Yeah.
Less than 1%. We're not working hard enough. Not even close. And honestly, I agree with your point. We need to get people ready for the next election.
Thank you.
And right away start their campaign.
Thank
From
you.
today.
Thank you.
And have their social media running. Every single thing happening in the Senate, basically in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be commented
Yeah.
by this kind of candidate
Mm-hmm.
and what the Green Party thinks about it. So you said it. We don't have good awareness,
Thank you.
and we need to work on that.
I just point out, first I sympathize with their, or identify with their idea that things could get worse. I remember in 2000 when George W. was elected, and I thought, well, this clown will certainly wake everybody up. That didn't happen that way.
By the way, the parallels between the Iraq War and what's happening in Gaza are numerous.
100%. And I actually remember thinking in 2000 when Ralph Nader was running that the first platform item in the Green Party is grassroots democracy. And I kind of thought that doesn't make sense to be just running at the top. I've kind of modified. I think it's more complex, and I think there actually is a lot of benefit to be done that way. But grassroots is where we need to focus. And as people get elected to local offices, and it can be done, it has been done by the Green Party in different states, that's going to raise the awareness. And that's the challenge. Absolutely.
And I think in order to gain momentum, I think we should have candidates. Bernie Sanders has said he's not interested in being the face of the Green Party, but we need candidates. We need candidates like him. He was offered the candidacy back in 2020, I believe, right? Something like that. And he turned it down. But we need candidates like that, because Bernie Sanders is the kind of politician that spoke a lot of common sense and still does. And he was the only one that was able to go on Fox News town hall and get the audience cheering for him. Yes? Okay. And so we need that kind of charisma, and we need to kind of counter it. I believe more strongly in a grassroots bottom-up approach than a top-down. If anything, I think Jill Stein actually does harm the party by running for the presidency, because people will look at the Green Party as like, oh, that party that came in like 4th place, that party that got not even 1 million votes, that party that got not even 0.5% of the vote. I think that harms our image. I think when you say like, oh, but we ran in a Senate seat and we won. When we ran in a House seat and we won. That's a lot easier to accomplish and starts building an actual record of success, as opposed to a record of like, oh, we're just fourth place losers in a two-party system. All right, here we go.
So I think the person I think is her name is Will. Sorry, I just say that word. You know, this one.
Marianne Williamson.
Yes, she's good. I'm saying that she's good. She's smart, and she said, "How you know?" And then they love her, like they love her. That's all I'm gonna say.
She's a public speaker. She's a public speaker, so
Thank you.
she had a good life.
So if I may, unless somebody want to speak, because I spoke twice.
Go for it.
Thank you. So before I forgot, I've been voting for Green Party ever since you've been voting for Green Party too. So I'm not new to this. I think let's start working on a strategy from now. Like one of the shortcomings of the Green Party during this election was, as you all know, is getting signatures to be on the ballots.
Yeah.
Maybe from 4 years from now, we have enough money to send 3 or 4 volunteers to New York to get signatures, or to send them to other states, send them from here, or pay somebody there to get signatures. And we can find easily a strategy to do that. I don't know which way the Green Party works, but for example, if you take them to churches in a white neighborhood where there's a lot of Republicans, they would love to have the Green Party on the ballot because that would help them. So you can get easily the signatures there. We just have to figure out what strategy do we want to work. And maybe we should start to work the strategy through email, exchange it through email. I don't know if that's easier. I don't know what's best logistics to communicate with each other. Or maybe Wissam would know better.
Sign doc,
Oh yeah.
Google Sign doc, or
Right.
something like that. Really great idea, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On the subject of logistics, I know that during the election we had the WhatsApp chat, which is a godsend. You know, when we were all so busy. But I think I really relish the idea of regular in-person meetings, because the energy I'm feeling, like talking face to face with you guys, is very powerful. So I think for strategizing, Wissam, if you could follow through on regular in-person meetings, I think that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Just to follow up on that, I don't know how many of you were on the Zoom meeting for the membership meeting that was a week ago or so. And right, and
The Green Party meeting.
Right.
Michigan, right?
the Green Party for Michigan, it's posted on the website on migreenparty.org. Is a link to register to join the Zoom meeting. And one of the things that we determined at that meeting was, instead of quarterly, we needed monthly meetings. We needed to increase the participation, and primarily for that idea of getting the word out, figuring out the strategy. I'm an old guy. I don't know all of the social media. I'm learning, but it's a lot more complicated in some ways, and maybe more efficient in some ways. So the question is figuring out the strategy to make that work.
We are on the same boat, sir.
Yeah, let me say something, please. Actually, there is. I want to tell you a couple of things that are taking place. Let me stand up in front of the cameras. One thing we're working on is establishing the Arab and Muslim American Caucus in the Green Party, and we were only thinking of Michigan, but I got a call today that they're doing the same thing in Minnesota. So it looks like we're gonna be working together to create a national caucus, and then any state can join it. And another thing is we're trying to get people registered in Michigan Green Party. I know that the party is being revitalized right now, but we trust that it's going to, pick up the momentum. So we haven't, we don't have a registration in Dearborn Greens, If someone wants to register in the Green Party, Michigan, greenparty.org. And right now, there's a lot of vacancies in the party. The elections are in February. So for whoever wants, there's, I think, about 6 positions that are vacant, and there's some extras that can be filled too. So anyone who wants to play a part in the Green Party also locally can. Thank you. Clyde Shabazz.
Hi.
Can you say a word, Clyde? Go ahead. Have a seat. Yeah.
Oh.
We're doing reflections on post-election reflections.
On post-election. Okay, very good. Hi, everybody. Hey, there she is. I'm Clyde Shabazz. Thank you for having me here. I'm glad to join you because I think there's a lot of reflecting going on. I've sent out to those who are on my email list some post-thought reflections from Democrats themselves. You know, been watching their media, particularly Democratic, what we call in the Green Party shield names. You may see them on YouTube and or maybe CNN, MSNBC, people like Roland Martin. He used to be on CNN. He has a podcast now. And I think he's a what I would call more than just a shield. I really would call him more of an operative where they get this money from the corporate donors of the Democratic Party, and where we know most people have abandoned them outside of what the Muslim community has done because of the genocide in Gaza. But you saw a lot of working class, some blacks, some Latino, and a lot of whites moving towards the Republican Party and away from the Democratic Party, because it's always been known that the Democratic Party allegedly has been the party of the working classes, correct? But because of Supreme Court rulings like Citizens United, okay, which allows corporations to become people now. So now these billionaires, the 1%, they can just give untold godly amounts of money to both parties. So now you really don't see any difference between the Democratic or the Republican Party. This is why the Greens, we refer to them as the two-party duopoly. And that's what makes us so great. Our values, we don't accept the corporate, we don't accept the corporate donations. And I think in these times when you're talking about what makes you green and what would separate somebody else who is an average voter out there looking at what's going on now, I think now in the 21st century, and this is what I wanted to share with Wissam, this is what I was sharing with Wissam when we were having the celebration at the Stein rally a week or so ago. And this is what I was talking about, in that now, here in the 21st century, we as Greens, we have to sell our party as a 21st century party. The two other parties is something from the 19th century, from America's past. And I told and I shared this with Jill as well. I think our charge as Greens is to go out into all of the communities and sell them on the idea that if you allow the Greens to govern and give us a chance, you'll see things like a Green New Deal economy, which is based around things like universal basic income. I ran on that issue, and I keep talking about that because as we talking about growing our green wall here, and we were sharing, because by the way, Dearborn Greens, we've had some outreach over in Warren in Macomb County, and I don't know if any of them showed up tonight, but we're looking to get them on board, and even going up into Flint and Holly, which is Genesee County, and back over into Ingham County, which is Lansing. That would give us what we have already in Dearborn, Detroit, Wayne County, what we got with Washtenaw up in Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti, and over in Oakland County, like what we have going on with, Ferndale, Pontiac, Southfield, and etc. That would give us a 6-county wall where about 40 to 50% of Michigan's voting age population resides. So that could really broaden our base. But we're also looking to go up into Benton Harbor, which is Berrien County on the western side of the state, and then going further up north, like in the central area of the state, where like Central Michigan is, which was Doug Marsh, who couldn't be here because it's like a couple hours away, going up in that area, and then Grand Rapids and Saginaw. Okay, so we have an opportunity for growth here, and I'm hopeful that I'm looking at some new candidates or recruiting some candidates. And what I've been sharing with everybody, if there's anybody if I could just ask any 50 and ups, just raise your hands up here. 50 and okay. So what I've been really hoping is that, okay, what I'm really hoping for is that we could put an emphasis on trying to recruit some 18 to 49-year-olds into the party. If you can just bring 3 of them in here that are committed and tell them about the values, regardless of race, gender, whatever, and those things, we can really help to grow this party. And I think we're there because we've got the eyes and ears of a lot of people right now. Yes.
Okay, so you are like a, I love you. You are like, yes, okay. But let me tell you, we need money. Okay. So I think what the cause
I'm sorry to interrupt. Could I ask, because I came late and part of my apologies. Could you just state your name so I can get to know all of you as before you
Rain.
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite
Rain.
Rennie?
No.
Rain. Thank you. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Rain. Okay, thank you, Rain.
Well yes,
Money.
okay. Oh, yes, it was.
Oh boy, that funny bone. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm so sorry. So I think oh yeah, we need money. So yesterday, I'm doing stocks. We need stocks, but like not the what call this carry the
Crypto?
yes, but also in charities. I, I I would tell you, and you would tell me. Okay, but we need stocks. Okay, we need stocks. That's all I can say. We need stocks. Okay.
Thank you. In the market?
Yeah.
All right. Any other inputs? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So Rain was talking about like charity and raising money for the cause.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone has any other suggestions?
I was wondering if anybody in this group knows that there is a movement to put ranked choice voting on the ballot in 2026, which would be huge for us. And I, obviously, for the election itself, but then this ranked choice voting. Mhm. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, right now we have. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Somehow I thought I can't hear myself. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Right now we have a winner take all system. Whoever, gets the most wins. Even if it's less. You explain it, Andrew. You're better. I'm kind of tired.
So currently it's whoever gets the most, regardless of what that percentage is, wins. So if you have 5 candidates, it gets split pretty even, and someone just gets like 30%, and everyone else gets something in the 20s. The 30% is the winner. That's why, in Michigan, Trump did not get 50% or higher. He's currently sitting, I think, at like 49% of the Michigan vote, but he's still winning Michigan because he has the most. Ranked choice eliminates that, so that no matter who wins, they end up with a majority of the votes. The way it works is like if I'm in the ballot and I vote my first choice is Green Party, I'll write down Green Party. And then it's like, but in case they don't win, if they don't get enough to win, then my second choice would be this candidate, or my third choice would be that candidate. And then it will. And so, and then when they count the ballots, whoever gets the least amount of votes gets eliminated. And then they look at everyone's second choice. Like if for whatever reason, Green Party gets the least votes, Green Party gets eliminated. And then it goes to every Green Party candidate's second choice. And then if that person is at the bottom, then it just goes down the list. So no matter what, whoever wins gets the general consensus of the people, whether it's their second or third choice. A ranked choice. You rank your choices.
And this has been adopted in some states already.
It's been adopted in, I believe, in Alaska. Alaska and Maine, I think, are 2 states. Yeah.
They use it back home in Lebanon. They do that same system.
Yes. And I'm a quarter Lebanese.
Just for the online.
Does anybody know and has anybody heard of the term universal basic income? Do we all, okay, let me explain that as well, because that's part of our agenda as part of a Green New Deal economy, okay? When I ran, yes.
I think the Green New Deal has been poisoned as a enabler. So I would not recommend using it.
But I'm going to push back on that, and there's a reason why, because of okay, and this is why we have an open ideas forum, because the people will make that determination, and that's in anything. We saw that this year with Trump. So never dismiss ideas, although they may not seem popular at the time. And the reason why I say this, and this is real key to listen, and that's because of the time we're in. We're in a fast-paced technological change time. We have Trump in there. He just appointed Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. All of these guys come from corporate America in that 1%, correct? The billionaire class. Right now, they're talking about they're going to redo and reimagine the whole federal government right now. So in the coming years, the working classes, Republican and Democrat, are going to want to come to appreciate universal basic income. And the way we are interpreted from the Michigan Green Party, and I led and ran with that in my run for Congress against Debbie Dingell, a long-time so-called friend of labor, correct? And universal basic income is a concept. It's very popular in some of the European and Scandinavian countries, where if you work full-time and you make $75,000 a year or less, that was our bar here in Michigan and our formula, because we calculated for the cost of living here in Michigan, you would get an additional $1,000 a month in UBI, or universal basic income. It would vary from state to state depending on the cost of living for the varying states, but that is a very popular issue. Now, you'll hear the 1% in the 1% from the media, which they control, 247, CNN, and Fox. You'll hear both parties say, oh, well, that's communism, that's socialism. Well, this is where we retort back, and this is why I'm sharing this information with you. Both parties during their administrations did a one-time stimulus check, did they not? That's nothing but universal basic income. So that's how you shut down and oppose that argument. Instead of just doing it a one-time, 1 month thing like both parties did to play like they're really helping the working classes, we just point this out to them and say, we're telling you, we're going to do this 12 months out the year, and we're going to finance it as well, because this is where we talk about it as well, and this is where Greens have to get better at. You want to talk about how you want to pay for it. So there's two things as part of the Green New Deal agenda that's in the national platform, and that's universal basic income, as well as lineage-based cash reparations, okay? And Greens, and those of you who are American descendants of slaves like myself, I'm teaching and telling you this here because this is going to be a growing political issue in the coming years. Although 90% of America opposes it, you best well believe 100% of Black America who are descendants of slaves, we are for it, okay? Because we postulate, just like we know about the genocide in Gaza, at the end of the day, it was a genocide. That's what we want to label it as. But it's time for payment to those who are descendants of that. Our ancestors built the initial infrastructure of America, from Wall Street to the White House to other infrastructure, the railroad system, so America could grow and become the prosperous superpower that it is today. And it's based off of chattel slavery. But because of the mood that the country is in, they're trying to not have this conversation. But you always have the agitators who push back, you know what I'm saying, and say, that's a no-no. Pardon? I ran against Debbie, but this I've ran 3 times for Congress. I've been in the Green Party since 2008. The first time I ran against John Conyers, who actually authored a bill called HR 40, which called for a reparations study, but it was just a sham study. He introduced this bill way back in 1989. He could never even get it, Congress, to bring it to a floor for a vote. So we knew all along, those of us on the activist side knew that this was just a stalling tactic, if you will, from the Democratic Party to make it seem or pretend like that they really are in favor of it, but they're really not. because we polled them. I think they said 90% of Republicans don't support it and 50% of Democrats don't support it. But that's irregardless to me. I always retort back, 100% of Nazi Germany didn't want to pay the European Ashkenazi Jews reparations, but they paid it.
It's just
Right. So it's
you're concentrating on one race. You're missing Native Americans. You're missing Iraqis. You're missing Vietnamese. You're missing.
Yeah, I'm not missing those folks. No, but to see what you're missing is that this is something that's been long not addressed by this government, by the people. Were you born in this country, or did you immigrated over here?
I immigrated because you let me know where to go.
Okay, I just asked you the question. Oh, we have another question. Okay, I'm gonna come back to your point, but go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to make a comment on something that you said, in fact, and that was that the Republican Party is once again, at least for white people, presenting themselves as the party of the working class.
Correct.
Because economically, things have obviously not been improving for most people in this country. And I think that this is a major point that needs to be a part of how we function, is that we are really the real opposition against a two-party system that is intent upon maintaining an unsustainable system.
Correct.
And
correct.
What needs to be I shouldn't say prioritized. What needs to be harped upon is that we are really the only people here who are advocating for the interests of most people.
Yes.
The fact of the matter, Republican or Democrat, perhaps they'll improve the lives of a certain group of people if one is elected, but they will not improve the lives of most people.
Yeah.
And they will not improve the lives of the most marginalized people in this country that need that kind of help, that need the kind of help that they have been denied for decades.
Yep.
And so I think that this is really the most important point, at least in terms of domestically in America.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What's your name again, too?
Avery.
Avery, and can I just ask your age? I'm just sorry. I'm really liking your.
I'm 19.
Very good. And this is what I was saying. The reason why I asked those two questions, because I'm talking to a lot more, particularly 18 to 29-year-olds. I have a video that I want to show you guys.
Speaking like he's been around for 50 years.
Yeah, but up in Ann Arbor, Linda was there. Remember, we did the Ann Arbor Art Fair, and we had our booth set up there. But the Green Party, we have a TV show that I'm a part of, and you all can check it out. Matter of fact, you look it up on YouTube. It's called In the Green TV. It's like our public affairs show for the Michigan Greens, and I hosted it. But I was just going about the people in Ann Arbor and asking them questions about the divided politics, because they had different political groups there with their booths and things set up. And we got a wide variety of answers, but some of the best answers came from the 18 to 29-year-olds, even some younger than that. There was U of M debate club, where there was the young kids up there, right? Yeah, the little short guy. They were amazing, but they get it, Wissam, and that's where I'm saying that this is what I've been telling you. I was sharing with Doug and you, where you guys we got to pull them in, because that energy, that's what's going to take the Greens to the next level. Yes, go ahead. And I'm sorry. Thank you.
I was towards the end of my whole thing anyways, but that was really what I wanted to emphasize, is that we are a party for the people, above all. And that's something that needs to be remembered in everything that we do. We are for the interests of everyone, not for the interests of a small few, not for the interests of a privileged class. We are for the interests of everyone.
If I could borrow, if I could borrow Jill's phrase, remember her campaign was "People, Planet, and Peace." Wasn't that it? I think that's a good way of saying it. Yep. Oh yeah.
On UBI, you said
about what you said, we need money. So what is, obviously you cannot do anything, without the money, especially the campaigning stuff. So what is the idea? What is the?
Is that the plan or strategy?
Strategy that we have.
That's a good question. That's a great question. Great question. Now now the question was, and I'll repeat it. She asked, "What can we do as far as money?" Because we're not like the Republicans and the Democrats, where we just say, "Hey, sign the checks and get them in." I think we only accept anywhere from $1 up to $3,000 on an individual basis, but we don't take PAC money and the like and that sort of thing, right? Now we are scheduling a meeting on, I think it's December the 14th. We have a meeting coming up. I want to encourage everyone here to be there. It's going to be Zoom, okay, so we can be there for that. And that's exactly the type of issues we're going to be talking about. Because just to be quite frank, because this is a kind of like the new energy Dearborn group coming in, up until this particular campaign presidential run, the Greens, because of the lack of participation by only a small core group of people that was just trying to keep it going, they had only been meeting once every 3 months, basically 4 times a year. So the first thing that's coming up at this first meeting in December, which is a special meeting that we call for, we want to go back to 12-month meetings, because we've got this new energy from Dearborn. We've got Warren coming in. We're going to be over in Flint and Lansing, and we're going to be doing these monthly meetings. So now, instead of having maybe 25 people at a monthly meeting, we're going to start having 50, 100, maybe up to 200 people. Now we can start saying, hey, everybody start doing dues, $5 a month, something, that kind of thing too. One of the Greens already mentioned in the email that's been going around, we have the gubernatorial election coming up. And under our campaign finance law, if that person raises $75,000, they can get matching funds to match that. All right, so we do that. It can be up to $750,000, by the way. So doing that, we could, run a strong, decent candidate, and we can raise anywhere from maybe, 150,000 to $1.5 million for them. And I've been saying all along, because even though we've only been meeting 4 times a month, and with that small core, we have an activist core that's inspired enough people now. We can really start doing some things as the Greens, where we can really build a base, and we can start winning some offices and some elections. Because I've always been the one that's saying that at some point, one of these state Green parties is going to upset the duopoly and, and win a state, even in the presidential election, and credential their presidential candidates, some delegates. Why not Michigan? You know what I'm saying? Why not us? Yes, please.
Just to add on that, one of the reasons I wanted to come here, even though I live in Holly, which is in Oakland County, is we're talking about the state membership meetings and growing them. But what we really need to focus on is getting local active. And my understanding, I've only been here a couple of years, but when I talk to folks who have been in the Michigan Green Party 15, 20 years ago, there was a lot more activity and locals were more active. And there are a couple, the Kent County locals, I think, meet fairly regularly. The Ann Arbor, maybe. But as far as I know, that's about it. I don't hear about Oakland locals, and I'm in Oakland. So this is, so there's many things that we need to grow, and grassroots democracy is the #1 platform item, and that to me says the locals need to get busy.
That's right. And like I said, I think we've got enough people within the 6-county region to where we can really have an impact and put some people in office, as well as. Oh, okay. Go ahead. A couple more minutes? Okay.
Don't put all of our focus into being an adversary to the two parties, as unlikable as they are and problematic as they are. They have a large amount of money and power. So I think it would serve best if we look at the French elections that just happened this past year as a reference. The conservatives in France were looking at a landslide victory. And it was the more liberal parties, like 3 more liberal parties on the far left, were going to like the Greens, like the moderating center, all got out of each other's way to overwhelm the conservatives. And France now has like a central leaning government they were able to maintain. And we should, like, it requires us playing to our strengths, like here in Dearborn, we should play to our strengths. In the budget. But like you stated, we're going to have to look at elections that are uncontested. I know that in the past elections, there were dozens of counties that were uncontested.
Agreed.
And we were able to spread out a little bit. I would personally prefer working more with Democrats than Republicans again. I'm here in the Green Party because I want the Greens to win, and we need friends to make this happen.
Thank you. This meeting is scheduled till 9, but I want to give a chance for everyone to, they want to socialize and meet each other. That's why I want to end the live and the discussion, and then we can socialize afterwards. So first of all, I want to thank you very much for showing up. Just like the effort we did in Dearborn, every person, the results are 4,000% full. So your presence here is very, very effective. Thank you, Linda. I know what you had tonight, and you still need this. Thank you very much. Everyone who drove far here. I also want to thank you for being the historical reference for the moral choice. Because without the green, the world would be very, very dark place.
Yes.
So the presence of each other reaffirms our moral compass and our moral feelings. And I want to give a couple of examples. I'll give them more in the green meeting.
I was going to say that.
Of things that can be action items for us. I was involved in the Association for Thomas Paine. So this association will send us a resolution idea that we can take it to the city hall to have the city hall pass it. So they made it simple. They sent all the members a resolution. All you have to do is go to the city council meeting, and present that resolution. Also, I was a member of Amnesty International. We would get from the national office in New York, we would get a bill that they want congressmen to sign on, or an idea that they want congressmen to author or adopt. And then we had a delegation. Imagine this happens. Amnesty International has 3.5 million members. And this happens all over the country. Each delegation goes, visits their congressman, and they ask them either to sign on the bill, or if it's not written, to actually adopt and author a bill. And I've witnessed, like Congressman Conyers, before he died, I witnessed him actually adopt one of those bills that Amnesty International suggested and actually signed on. Well, the Green Party is more powerful in numbers than the Amnesty International in America. So I think we can do a lot at that level, other than running for office and then also running a presidential campaign. We can do a lot of supporting of green policies locally. Yes, Clyde.
Just to add to that too, and the Green Party does have a set of core values. I was going to the state website. That's what the first thing I would recommend you do, to go there and talk about migreenparty.org, and it's 4 pillars. It's the ecological wisdom, the social justice. Forgive me, I'm having a moment here, and there's 2 more I can't think of, but there are 4 good basic pillars to go by that you can differentiate our party from the other 2 duopoly party. It's more of a humanist, like I said. It looks out for everybody's interests pretty much, because they don't take the corporate donations, even how to pay for some of these social justice programs. And that's the main thing I want to put emphasis on to you, because when you all talk about the Green Party, you go out into the world and you're talking to people who typically vote Republican or Democrat. I've been around this party for 20 years, since 2008. I know the pushback questions that typically come. I know them in my sleep, particularly around working class issues, like I said. And the 2 biggest issues will be the UBI in the coming years Trust me, industrialization is going to force working class Republicans and Democrats to start taking a look at UBI. I promise you, by 2028, for these next 4, it's going to be an issue. I know what I know, and I know. I'm telling you.
I understand because the spark plug supplier just built a plant that has no workers. Zero.
For being with us, and please follow the Dearborn Greens group so you can be aware of any upcoming activities. We have Instagram page Dearborn Greens, Facebook page Dearborn Greens, and also a Linktree /Dearborn Greens. And the floor is open for socialization. And thank you again for coming.
Nice to meet you.